Hi guys, so today I wanted to speak about the sphere of relating in the star pearl and show you how to find it, and also start to say what Richard was posting in a video a while ago, that there are different phases in human interaction. So we have 6 phases, and each one is one for each line. And also we can see that when we look at our own sphere of relating, that is what kind of becomes our superpower in that. And we look at the planet of Mercury, and you guys that are into astrology might know that this is the analytical planet, the left brain, the way that we analyze and communicate. So we use the personality Mercury, which is on the conscious side, the same as we are using in normal astrology, and we look at the line first, and we look at like what are we good at when it comes to communicating. So I want to go through the 6 phases. So the first phase has to do with dissonance. So it's the first line that can feel in a human system or in a group or between 2 people, can feel when there is something that isn't quite in harmony. So the first line is dissonance, and then the second line, when there is dissonance, naturally can feel what's there, and then gives feedback. And this feedback is like constructive and caring, and clear. And then we have a third phase and the third line. So then it's kind of starting to feel there's energy coming up, and it starts to feel a bit uncomfortable, many times, as it does with the third line. And it's there to assimilate. So it kind of feels like we want to be out of there maybe, or want to freeze. But actually it's a phase that is there for us to feel the energy and to assimilate it. And then the fourth line can come together, and we can share. And we can share from a place that is more like, from our soul, more than just the objective kind of feedback on the second line. We share, this is how I feel, and we listen to the others. It's like listening and speaking from the heart. And then suddenly there's a new kind of understanding. So then that is the fifth line, is the crystallization of what's going on and the understanding. And like we know, the fifth line goes into the practical solution. And then after that we have the sixth line, and the sixth line has the big perspective, like seeing the whole, from the dissonance to the feedback, to the assimilation, to the sharing, to the crystallization. The sixth line can see all these phases, and then comes the gratitude for the learning. So that's the sixth line, the gratitude for this process that we just went through, that basically took us from dissonance to understanding, and that moved the frequency from a lower to a higher frequency. And this is something that constantly actually happens, in human systems and between people. So when we look at a human design graph, or we look at the hologenic profile, we can go in to, we can see this. And we don't have the new hologenic profile where actually this is in, but it's enough to just take a human design chart and look at Mercury, and the key and the line. So first of all, I said in the last video about the transit in Jinki 16 that my line is 2. So I'm good at feedback, a clear feedback, and to give it in a natural way, where actually the heart is part of it too, or like more, it's the caring is there too. And then my key is the 16, so it's versatility. So when I analyze something, when I communicate, there is a versatility to it. There is a way of synthesizing things and bringing things in that sometimes can maybe feel a bit scattered, but there is the city's mastery, and the gift is versatility. And so let us maybe go into the group and look at something that we have in the group to look at your superpowers. Let's see. So here we have Fanny. Let's see what her superpower in communication is. So she has 11 too. So Fanny is also really good at feedback. She can objectively give feedback, and do with caring, which would be in the shadow frequency probably to like deny the other, you know. There could also be a shadow frequency, but usually we more look to that in the sphere of attraction, the sphere of purpose. We kind of see, or even the core wound, we see more of the shadow patterns. I really look at the star pearls more as possibilities than the shadow patterns. And then she's an 11, so we can see that she's really good at like holding an ideal, you know. When she gives feedback, she might say, you know, this is the value, this is the ideal in this situation that we want to hold, you know. And it's an exaltation as well. So it's like, it's something strong, I would say, that she does. She can hold an ideal while she gives objective feedback. And then see if I can close everything and go back. And then who else do we have here? No, we need human design charts because we're not going to see it in the gene keys. Do we have more other examples? Let's see, four more comments. Okay, so here we have another one. So this is Therese. So what about her? Personality Mercury. Okay, she's also second line. She's good at feedback. And she's good at, like, instead of having all these expectations, like when something is in dissonance, we kind of feel like, I want my expectations met. This is my agenda. That would be the shadow frequency of the 42. She's like, you know, she can help people detach from that and open up for possibilities. In kind of, you know, celebration is the gift frequency, but it's that kind of detachment of, you know, this is feedback, but then let's see what happens in the assimilation phase to see what's going on, to not be very fixed, I would say that is. And here we have, we're at Trinity. So for Trinity, she has the 32-4. So Trinity comes in the phase after assimilation that has to do with sharing from the heart. And she really, the superpower here, the 32 in the splenic center, really says like, this is worth preserving. Like this is, in this conversation, in this problem, this is what matters. This is what's worth keeping, put energy in, for example. The 32 has fear of failure in the shadow frequency, but that's also why it can cut out the things that the weed, you know, that doesn't serve, and then so that we can focus on the plants that we want to give nurture and water to, so that they can grow. So that's something that she's really good at doing in relating. And do we have anybody else? Well, maybe let's just say that, okay, here we have, that's funny again. Do I have anybody else? No, we don't. So yeah, I mean, ask me questions if you want about your sphere of relating, about your unique gene key there and line, and I'll be happy to answer you about that. So bye for now.